Okay, so I removed the cucumbers. They're burpless cucumbers from the Haas seed tray. And again, this is a 162 cell tray. We'll grow 162 plants. But they're pretty small. For some things, you could go straight to the garden with them. For some things, you might want to transplant. So these just were shading. Were so big they were shading everything else. There's a little pepper right there that was trying to get up, but wasn't receiving any sun. This one wasn't receiving any sun, so now they will, or light rather. Now they will. So anyway, got them out of there. Good root system, completely filling that pod, that cell. So we're going to put them in these 4-inch pots. These are, again, burpless cukes. And the seed, I bought the seed somewhere else. I don't think I got that from Haas. I think I actually had it from last year. So anyway, well, let's pot these dudes up in these 4-inch pots. What I'm using for this is they used to call it 3B. I don't know whether they're getting it from a different company or the name has changed. It's I believe it's a 3 cubic foot bag. Burger BM7. It says bark mix, but it's a potting mix, not a seed starting mix. It's not as fine as a seed starter. I have finished off where I've got all but half a cup full of the seed starting mix left. So anyway, put the camera on the tripod. We'll transplant these with the bark mix, with the BM7. You know, this is really pretty good stuff. Pretty finely sifted. Got a few little sticks in it. This is better than the old 3M. Excuse me. This is better than the old 3B I used to get. That's not bad at all. A lot of perlite in it, which is the white that you see. That's not bad at all. I like that. I'm glad they went to this company. The other company had lots of sticks and bark and a little bit of everything in it. That looks pretty good. Let's add it to some pots and repot those burpless cucumbers. So I'm just going to use a cup as a scoop. Again, pretty thin mix. I could just lay it in the bottom. If it was a tomato this big, I would just lay it in the bottom and cover it up with mix. I'm not going to do that. I don't. A tomato you can bury all the way up the stem and it will root all the way up the stem. I don't know that a cucumber will do that, so I'm going to pour in enough to get that cucumber sitting about the same height as it was in the other pot. So basically that's the top right there of the where it was in the other pot. So we're going to put that in it, pack it around, maybe a little bit extra. Try to get it standing up straight. That's my fault that I got it leaning, cocked to one side a little bit. And just put the soil in it, the potting soil. And we're going to pot up, I think I've got 9 of these. Pot up one more for you. Smaller one, maybe you can see a little better and the camera won't block it. Fill it about halfway up. This is a 4-inch pot. I'll go ahead and pack that down. Now I didn't do the other one like that. Always use up your leavings. That looks good. We'll do all 9 of them like that. You get the idea. Again, if it was a tomato, I would bury the whole stem because tomatoes are going to make roots on that whole stem. Now, some of these look like, let me find one. this one was making roots on that stem. So it could be that these do the same thing. And I could have gotten away with burying them, but I don't know that for sure. So I'm gonna go ahead and plant them like this. Of course, they'll need water. Now, depending upon what the weather does, because we've got anywhere from 65 to 70 and above degree days for the rest of the week and maybe even next week. So depending upon what the weather does with the tomatoes, the peppers aren't ready to transplant yet, but some of the tomatoes are. So I may go ahead and transplant. I may go ahead and just use some of the tomatoes straight out of the Haas seed tray. Even though it's a small cup, a small bit of potting soil. But I may go ahead and do that simply because I may run out of wintertime. We may get into spring and need to go ahead and put them in the ground. I usually don't like to plant till Good Friday, but I think Easter, or plant till Easter, but I think Easter is like the very end of April this year. And boy, I think I would really lose some growing season if I did that. So anyway, that's transplanting these. These are pure purpless cukes. Perfect little transplant. And boy, they're really ready to go in the garden right now. I just don't think that the weather is ready for them. So I'm going to keep them around under the lights a little bit longer and just kind of look at the forecast and see what the weather's doing. And hopefully won't be long. I haven't even got my grow arches built yet, so I need to do that. And we'll plant. We'll show you. You know I'm going to. So keep watching. If you're not subscribed, subscribe down at that bottom right there. And if you haven't rung the bell, if the bell doesn't look like it's been rung, ring the bell. It says get notifications. If the bell, I think, doesn't have, if it's got an X through it, if it doesn't have the little quotation marks around it, then you have not rung my bell. Please ring my bell. And that way when I put up a video, you'll get a notification of it. I've got a lot of stuff to show you. Spring's gonna be interesting. So ring the bell, subscribe if you haven't already, and that's it. Pretty little plants. They are ready to go. Ready to go. I'm ready to go too. I'm ready for winter to be over, spring to get sprung, start doing this. All right, we appreciate y'all more than you will ever know. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, ring the bell, and we're gone.